Hey man, welcome back. Super Divorce YouTube channel. Nicholas Villars here, aka Super Divorce, and we're gonna do this Lisa Frank tonight. I got a Lisa Frank set, but first, what I need to do is go ahead and find out what I'm putting on for musical selection. You know what I'm saying? I can't just put anything on because the stream could possibly be taken down if I play the wrong tunes. That it could be disastrous for me. It could be just a disaster if I put on the wrong tunes. So, and I can't just have it be silent while I'm drawing or coloring Lisa Frank. Frankly put, I can't have that happen. Frankly put, I need to get some music, quite frankly. I'm going to get to coloring, but first I have to figure out what I'm going to listen to, and I was waiting until a few people popped in to see if anyone had any requests, if anyone had any ideas for music to put on that would be safe for streaming. I can't, look, you're not going to be able to say, oh, play George Thorogood or play the Jay Giles Band. You can't tell me play Starship. That won't work because that stuff is all super protected. So I have to find, I got to find a vibe, and then I can find like royalty-free tunes within that vibe. That's what I'm looking for. We got to find a vibe that we can catch. Chill Flex Trip Hop Fusion. Chill Flex Trip Hop Fusion. I wonder if that's... Chill Flex Trip Hop Fusion. Nothing coming up under that. Well, maybe if I separate them. Trip Hop. All right, searching Chill Flex Trip Hop Fusion. Let's see if anything comes up. We've got a best of trip hop and down tempo and lo-fi and new jazz tracks. Missed re-upload. If it's a re-upload, that makes it sound like someone's taken that down before, or like it's been taken down. Maybe I should add royalty-free. I see a jazz lounge. Hip-hop, no copyright. Probably some of the worst hip-hop you ever heard in your life, if I had to guess. We've got chilled trip hop, royalty-free by Audio Owl. That's only 2 minutes. We need like a nice mix. A playlist. Maybe let me add playlist in there. You got to keep narrowing the search down. Chill lo-fi hip hop, copyright-free chill hop music. 184 videos in that playlist. Here's a trip hop mix, down tempo dub, acid jazz, future jazz, chill hop, abstract. What's up, Jorfus? I'm here just about to build it brick by brick. We're about to get bricked up with some Lisa Frank. Speaking of, top 5 to 10 hip-hop artists in no particular order. Like my favorites? I don't really get into the game of saying, oh, well, this guy is the GOAT. This one's the best legit of all time. Because it's like, I listen to mostly rock and roll. So it'd be like asking someone who really only listens to hip hop, like who the best guitar player of all time is. They might be able to tell you like a handful of their favorites, but I don't feel comfortable telling you like who the goat or goats are. I can give you my favorites though. And I'd say in no particular order, well, I love the Beastie Boys. We can just count them as one. I do love the Beastie Boys, and I'm a big. Oh, well, I still have an opinion, because I still listen to hip hop sometimes. I'm just saying, relatively speaking, I don't like if you looked at my the breakdown of like my genres I listen to, it's like this much hip hop. It's that much of rock and roll and things in the rock and roll pop category. So I'm gonna go with Beastie Boys, and I'll say who else? I'm gonna throw Eminem in there. Look at me, the white guy, and I lead with all white rappers, right? And then number 3 is gonna be Vanilla Ice and Snow, and then my number 5 is going to be I need another white guy. Tom Green. They're my 5 favorite rappers. The Beastie Boys. Who else? Beastie Boys, Eminem, Vanilla Ice, Snow, and Tom Green. Oh yeah, I could have thrown Yellow Wolf in there. I forgot about him. No, but real talk, I think Yellow Wolf is shit. I can't stand Yellow Wolf. Let me go back. I'll give you my real list, okay? Beastie Boys, Ebadab, and I'm gonna have to say Nas, and I'm gonna have to say who else am I gonna throw on this list? I mean, it's not that I've got guys entering in my head, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to say they're in my top 5. They could be, some of them that I'm thinking of, but I don't know. Jorfa said I'm cooking with the top 5. Let me cook. Let me continue cooking. Beastie Boys, Eminem, Nas, and then probably who else? Probably like well, Brand New's not a hip hop artist. Right now we're doing hip hop. We're just doing hip hop guys at the moment. And I'm having trouble getting past number 3. My 4 and 5 slots, it feels like there are so many names that I could throw in there. But I'm like, I don't know. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be... Well, Michael Jackson, I wouldn't consider him hip-hop either. He's more the king of pop, not the king of hip-hop. So I can't put him in that mix there. If it was pop music, yeah, for sure, he'd be in the top 5. I think he has to be in just about everyone's top 5. Good Brother says Beastie Boys, Eminem, Jay-Z, Andre 3000, Redman, Wu-Tang Clan, Big Pun, Nas, Treach, Mos Def, and MF Doom. See, I was considering Mos Def. I was considering saying him. That was on the tip of my tongue. The tip of my tip. And I do like MF Doom as well. But I don't feel like I've listened to enough MF Doom to put him on my top 5. But there was a time where I was listening to Mos Def's Black on Both Sides album a lot. That didn't leave my CD player for quite a while. So I think I'd feel comfortable putting him on there. Okay, let's put Mos Def at number 4. And then let's say, or Snoop Dogg. It'll probably be, I mean, it's controversial to mention his name now, but I've got to put Ye on the list. Regardless of what you think about the current state of whatever he's got going on, the Nazi sucking his cousin's dick stuff. We were just talking about separating the artist from the creative output recently, and I can't deny that. I mean, there are multiple of his albums that I just love. So I can't retroactively go back and say, well, I actually don't like those albums now, just because he's whatever he's doing. So yeah, okay, there's my list then. All right, we got Beastie Boys and Eminem, Mos Def, or he was number, I said Nas. Beastie Boys, Eminem, Nas, Mos Def, and Kanye, or Ye. He would want me to call him Ye. I don't think he likes being called Kanye anymore. So there you go. There's my top 5 hip-hop. Just personal favorite. Take that list with a grain of salt. Don't say, oh, this is who Super Divorce thinks are the goats of hip-hop. I'm not qualified to give you a goats of hip-hop list. I feel like I need to really dive in. Now, I think I could do that confidently with rock and roll, because I've listened to enough of it, and I have enough of a palate. I've tasted enough flavors of rock and roll music to give you what I would think would be a pretty decent GOAT list of rock artists. But even then, sometimes there are people who are completely outside your purview, and then you stumble upon them, and you're like, where have these guys been my whole life? How would I miss these guys? They would definitely be in my top 5. So it's always in flux. You know what I'm saying? It's always in flux. Yeah, we did do that I was just thinking that memory was triggered. That we tried to be objective. It was not like this list. It wasn't just like my favorite. It was like, who are the legit, undisputed kings of rock and roll? If they were putting on a big concert and like every rock and roll band ever were playing, or all the biggest ones you could think of, like who would headline? Because you can only have one headliner, so you're gonna have to figure that out. It's like, who's going over? Who's the big dog of rock and roll music? And it's tough imagining anyone playing after a fully formed Led Zeppelin. If you had all those guys like in their prime, it's tough to imagine anyone else stepping up on stage and being like, all right, well, actually, you're going to open for us. I don't think that would happen. But anyway, let's see. So I'm going to turn on... let's try this with 184 videos. Just chill is what it says. Chill, lo-fi, hip-hop, beat, free instrumental, copyright-free, chill hop music. That's a mouthful right there, isn't it? Is it? Are you going to play? There we go. All right. Okay, let's head on over here. Here's my Lisa Frank set that I've got. There's Silent Bob and the Ultimate Warrior hanging out. There's my old mouse pad. You like that, Andrew? Or good brother? Who's Andrew? Why did I say Andrew? Good brother, I meant. I was just talking to a guy named Andrew earlier. Okay. All right. Let me find a good way to position this. Yeah. Jess is Andrew. Hi, Andrew. Hi, Andrew, Jess. Good brother doesn't think the markers are going to last the whole job. You don't think so? You don't think they've given me high quality markers to use? You don't think they're of the highest quality, highest value? They just want people to run out of marker as they're doing these? Is that what you're trying to say? Oh, I gotta pull up the... See what I have to do here? I've got to get this other computer going here so that I can look at the chat, because I won't be able to see it on my phone when I set it up in one spot here. And I don't think that's going to work. It's going to have to be higher up. I need to find a better place to put this. Watch out. Silent Bob's trying to jiggle all over the place here. It's not a good setup. Here, let's try this. Maybe up here. Let's see if this is... Could we do maybe... Could we do something like that? What am I looking at there? What are we getting? There's like, that's a little bit of the damn thing that we're seeing. What the? I've got to get it just the right height. And you see this stand I'm using won't just stop where you want it to. You've got to kind of like rig it up. You got to do a little rigatoni work. There's my swingers tattoo that you can see. It's not really a swingers tattoo, if you're new to the channel. I'm not really a swinger. My wife and I aren't really swingers. We just like the show Psych. So we got pineapple tattoos. So don't get too worked up. Okay, let's scoot scoot in a bit right there. How's that work? How's that working? Let's try that out. If these run out, I do have some other markers. Just right over here, actually. I've got a whole bunch of them. I got these right here. Because I like doodling, I like coloring with Sharpies. They're not fancy, you know, like they're not expensive, but they're fun. So I've got those in case we run out. But I hope that these markers right here will last the whole time. We'll see. We're gonna crack it open. We're gonna start with a cracking unboxing here. A cracking unboxing. Hey Sona, how's it going? Let's just unwrap. Here we go. This is, whoop. There. Okay, so you can see that pretty well. And then that's the bonus. They got these tabs that I guess you can use if you want. You could, let's move that. You could put these on the back and hang this up wherever you want to in your house if you wanted to do that. If you want to celebrate your Lisa Frank, I mean, they do call it Doodle and Display, so you can display it if you'd like to. Hopefully I don't have to get out my brochure. I might though. I might get out my brochure if these don't hold up. Because that'd be bullshit. It'd be bullshit to sell someone this set knowing that the markers aren't going to hold up. Now let's look. Already I see a problem. Look, that is broken. See that? It's broke. Somebody broke it. All right, chat. It's time to make a decision. We've got 2 kitty cats that need to be colored. And we need to figure out which color we're going to color each. So let's start with the kitty cat here on the left. What color do you think would be a good color for the left side kitty cat? What's it going to be? For the main body, you know. We can fill in these spots, any colors that we want to, but the main body. Oh, Sona said we need swatches, and Justin said we want to go with orange. Well, here. Okay, before I start then, why don't we swatch it? A little sampling. Here. We'll do a little sampler platter. Let's see how these things work. Oh, you know what'd be good? I can get some extra light going here. That might be a good idea to do. Put yet a bit more light on the subject. Just like that. There. That's helpful. Now you can see some of the fucking, the shining, the iridescence. Let's start with seeing how this yellow looks. We were talking about Yellow Wolf a minute ago. It already feels like it's almost completely dried out. What's up, Jorphus? All right, so there's our yellow. Here's a little orange. We got some pink. A green. Oh gosh, That's that's already toast. This is false advertising, dude. What the fuck? What if I didn't have extra markers? You know how pissed off I'd be right now? We'll get that out of here. You know what? All right, I'm turned off. These are going in the garbage. We're going to trash these right now. We're going to trash them. We're going to trash them. Done. In the garbage. Look. Look at my shoes. Look at those. I bet you guys don't have house slippers half as cool as mine with the woods on them. And a tie, a little bow. I can put a bow. This one's coming a little loose. Look at it. It needs some help. That says Beetlejuice. Right there. Am I going to make a gay tiger? I don't think they're gay. They're just colorful. Not explicit. Yeah, I don't think they're gay. I think they're too young to have that figured out yet. They're just cubs. Jess says she's coming to the rescue. Well, I got brand new ones I was going to use. You don't have to. Don't rush down if you don't need to. Jorfer said they look like the sandals that poor people in cartoons. They're not even sandals. They're house slippers. Those aren't sandals. Good Brother said, those are leopards. They're mystical Lisa Frank cats, in fact. Look at them. Leopards don't shine like that. Leopards don't have iridescent spots. Those are mystical, magical Lisa Frank cats. Cubs. Cat cubs. What?
I've come to save you.
Oh gosh, Jess has lots of wares with her. Oh, now I gotta get this figured back out here.
A little dusty. Bright AF colors. Do you have swatch paper?
I did over there.
What are these?
Huh?
What are these?
Those were my Sharpies I was testing out to see which ones were still functional.
Is that too red?
What?
Do you want me to match the colors here?
Match which colors?
The ones that they tried to give you.
Oh, no, you don't have to.
Look, there's some hot pink. That's a good Lisa Frank color. Get you. I got you. Don't worry. That's a good Lisa Frank blue. And a little dusty. Why don't you dust them off for me?
I'm not dusting them.
Dust them.
I'm not dusting them.
Why?
Because I don't want to.
Oh, look. These are the perfect matches. Even in my... Shows you how practiced I am with...
No one cares about dust on the markers.
They're a little
They already saw my sandals.
Oh, purple. Look at this. I mean, Lisa Frank AF. What other colors you need? You need some orange?
I don't know. You can just leave the bag. I'll dig through it if I need to.
You want more than just what I'm giving you? Oh, here's like a...
No, I'm sure that bag will be sufficient. Just leave it next to the table and I'll reach down yellow. If I need to.
Well, I wanted to at least give you the colors that they gave you. Let me get you an orange. And then you can get whatever you want after that. How about that?
That's fine.
Can't see my feet, can you?
No.
Everybody's making fun of your shoes. Is that what happened?
Jorfus was.
It's more of a coral.
Mm.
Coral. Here's an orange. Yeah. Well, there you go. There's some. What?
Good Brother said you have to throw the markers out because they're dusty.
No, they're so good. That shows you how good these are. They've been sitting in my office for years untouched, and they're still perfect quality.
All right.
You're gonna
Well,
color.
Yep, I'm gonna color.
Can I help? You just coloring the kitty cats?
Yeah.
You don't got anything else?
Well, there's that puzzle, but I don't know. We'll see how long this takes me.
Where's the puzzle? This?
No. Where'd it go? Over here. This one.
Can I see?
Well, watch
Aw.
out. I got it set up just nice.
I won't move it. Just looking at it. It's reflective.
I know. It's iridescent.
Won't that clash when you color it?
No.
It's already colored.
No.
You want me to go away, don't you?
I want to get started on my... People are yelling at me to start coloring like as soon as I began the stream. And now it's been 30 minutes.
They want you to catch up on the chat.
Well, I will as soon as I can see my computer again.
They should not smear on paper stock. These are high quality Prismacolor. You can even blend with them. Do you want the blending stick?
No, I don't want the blending. We're not blending. We're keeping everything nice and separate, indeed.
Can I color one?
No.
Oh, fine.
Take this if you want to color it.
No, I don't. I just wanted to color one of the the patches.
We're not doing the patches yet. I'm starting with the full body. And then I'm going to go back and do the patches later.
Are you going to do like a blend, like a gradient?
No, I'm not doing a gradient.
Okay, bye.
I like flats. You know this. I like comic books with flats. I've always been a fan of flat coloring when it comes to stuff that's like illustrations
I like
for the most part.
I like some flat color.
It's a problem I have with a lot of comics that are colored digitally now. They look cheesy. They just
Do my
take
tattoos
these...
look cheesy?
No,
Those
I
aren't
said
flat.
digitally.
Oh, I know, but you can do blends without doing digital.
A lot of people use digital colors and then they'll do these horrible gradients where you just use like the gradient tool.
Oh, I don't do that.
And it looks awful. And then everything looks... They try and make everything look too shiny all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
I know what you're talking about.
Do you know what I'm talking
But
about?
that's nicely gradiented over there. The creeps, the night of the creeps.
This is the coloring that I like.
I know you do.
I like when coloring looks like this.
Mm-hmm.
Look, nice separated colors. One area, huh?
Cell shaded.
Yeah, okay. Is that what you want to call it?
Yeah, it's called cell shading. It's where you block the color, kind of like a paint by number, but simple.
This is beautiful. This is what I like. So that's how I'm going to do my Lisa Frank cats. My mystical Lisa Frank cats.
Okay, I'll go away.
Why are you stealing my coffee now? What are you doing?
It's actually my stream now.
I guess it is just a stream. I'm just going to go to bed. Go ahead,
My
color.
brother says he used the Gaussian blur. Andrew and Andrew got a good rapport. But Andrew's kind of crotchety. Alright, good night, Andrew.
Good night.
Good night, Andrew, everybody else.
Thanks for the colors.
Sorry for ruining your Black Panther party.
You know, he never said that.
What did he say? What did he actually say?
I don't know. It's another Mandela effect.
What is it? He says something like that.
I guess he never says, sorry I ruined your Black Panther party.
He says something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, you always say it.
I know. Because I thought that's what he says, but I was reading the other day, he never says that in the movie.
Huh.
I thought he did. I could have sworn it. Sorry I ruined your Black Panther party, Lieutenant Dan. Alright. We're gonna do orange. We're gonna do orange. I never yelled at you. I got slightly butthurt that you were over here slurping my coffee up when I didn't have much to begin with. Because you told me you're going to sleep. And now you're in here sipping on coffees. What sense does that make? what is this? That's red. It's called carmine red. All right, here we go. This is mineral orange. Mineral orange. And we'll just start over here. We'll start right up here, right on this area. I'm kind of blocking. Maybe I can move so that you can see what's being colored. How's that? Jess wasn't in here. It was her friend Snacky. That's right. Just right. Must have been Snacky. Old Snacky Poo. Snack, snack, snackaroo. I like to, when I'm filling in colors, I like to go around the outside edge first. But now hold on, maybe I should, since I'm getting from this side here, I probably should switch it, because you're never going to be able to see jack nor shit the way it's currently set up. Let's try that. Now, how is this? Let me get it maneuvered just so. There we go. Now you can see a little bit better, huh? That's a little better. You know what? Here. All these adjustments to make constantly. All right. Just need to find a good spot here, and then we can start digging into this thing. Gonna try to stay nice and inside the lines properly. I want this thing to really be a treat when I'm done with it. I want people to look at it and say, that's one of the best Lisa Frank pieces that we've ever seen. Maybe I'll be featured in a Lisa Frank competition of some sort. Now, the only thing that I'm going to have a little bit of trouble with is I can't get my face down here as close to the what do you want to call this? It's not paper. It's like a board. I can't get my face as close to the board as I would like. For if I do, then I'll block the view. And that won't be good. I swear it's true. See, this part I can be a little less precise with because the color's not going to show up on that iridescent part, on the shiny part. So I can probably be a little looser with that. What? Hold on. Why am I barbarian here? What's going on? Why are people calling me a barbarian? Oh, because I'm using this part of the stick? Well, you should see why. That should be obvious why I'm doing that right here. It's because I've got to get in these tight spaces. You know, I can't use the big fat end and go wild wampus, because then I'll end up making blunders and mistakes and it'll look like shit. And I'm trying to take this seriously. See, now on this part, see, that's not even very good for what I'm trying to do here. It's not going to make much of a difference. It's the kind of flat, awkward, I guess it moves a little bit quicker, but see, I can use it in this area to fill this in now that I've got the outside edges complete. Then we can just kind of fill these spots in just like that. And it looks like we might need a few passes here to really get this as saturated as we want, because this board is pretty slippery. So the color is not kind of like seeping into it the way you'd want it to. If you're using like a Bristol board or something like that, I guess that'll work for now. We can come back and do touch-ups later if we need to, but we're gonna have to get rolling or else we're never gonna get it done. Make sure not to remove your rubber band. Is that on there for a reason? Is this where you like to hold it? Have you marked it right there? Is that your grip spot? Use chiaroscuro shading and Gaussian blur. We might put some Gaussian on this at the end. We'll see. We'll see how we're doing. We might need some good Gaussian. I'm not familiar with chiaroscuro. And thanks, Sona. I like to think that I'm this generation's answer to Bob Ross. You know, he was very talented and astute observer of the human condition. Did all the things that you want a good artist to do. Told stories, told good tales through his artwork. And like him, I'm a master at my craft. As you can tell, I haven't made a single mistake or error yet, and I don't intend to. To be quite frank, you think that's the last time I'm going to make the Frank pun? Well, don't bet on it, pal. As long as we are streaming tonight, you are in the Frank pun danger zone. It could happen at any moment, as many times as I like. They're buildable pigments, and it smooths as it dries. Oh, okay. This is on here because you marked colors you were using on a different project. Are you going to finish it? You said you haven't even touched these in years. To be quite Lisa Frank, that's going to get old. Well, frankly, I don't care if it gets old. Just being frank with you, I just don't care. If we can't pun around, what are we even doing here? You know what I mean? Why do some people get so upset with puns? Why does it bother people so much? Some people have like a guttural reaction against punning. They're like cats when you do the comb noise. I just found out about that recently. If you take a comb near a kitty cat, like these cats right here, if I had a comb, like just a hair comb, and you kind of run your fingers along the bristles and make that comb noise, it apparently causes cats to like dry heave. I was like, what's that all about? I've basically had cats my entire life, and never saw that happen, never experienced that, didn't know about it. But I saw multiple videos where people were doing it and their cats would then immediately dry heave. Like they're about to vomit everywhere. I was like, what is that? What is that reaction? You guys ever done that? Good brother, Bob Ross. Paints wet on wet, full canvas in 23 minutes, while I slowly color Lisa Frank cats and yell at my wife. Well, look, we are kindred spirits. You could consider us two sides of the same coin. That's how I look at it. I think that's a healthy way to see things. So, we've all got our Bob Ross side, we've all got our super divorce side. Well, I think that's just fine. I think that's just the way that good Lord intended it to be. Nothing wrong with that. As we continue with our little kitty cat right here. Jorfa said I'm being a try-hard on a kid's drawing display. Nothing about this said it's for children. You just made a wild assumption, pal. This is for anyone who wants to take on the task and the challenge of coloring a beautiful Lisa Frank display. Whether you're 5, 55, or 105, as long as you say yes to this challenge, why, this challenge is just for you. And really that proves the versatility and the worldwide global appeal of one Lisa Frank. Frankly put. Ronnie's here to say he's not watching this stream. Well, fine. I think you're missing out. I think you're going to miss out on a great stream. How many other tubers are doing this tonight? If you are looking for this little Lisa Frank set to be markered in on live stream, my bet is there's exactly one place on the internet you could go for it. And you're here. And how many tubers can say that? Just me. I'm the only one doing it. So you can go and you can watch whatever you want to. Just know you're missing out. I'm delivering the content that everyone else is too afraid to deliver. I'm taking on the projects that no one else wants to take on. Not because they're lame, not because they're boring, but because they're challenging. See that? They tried to trick me there, and I didn't let them. That's being skillful, guys. That's how you be skillful. There we go. Just coloring in nice and good. Nice and good. Oh, you know what? JJ, I forgot to tell you. It totally slipped my mind. I was looking at Hades last night, and I was thinking about picking it up, but then I saw it was like $25. And I try to get stuff on sale or buy cheaper games to play on the live streams, because I don't know if I'm going to ever go back to them again. Because we do so many different games and so many different streams. I don't often buy a game and then continue playing it outside of the stream. So, I was like, I don't know, $25. I'll wait and see I'm sure it'll be on sale during this the upcoming summer sale. I would have to bet. So I'll look for it to go on sale then, and I'll pick it up. Or, you know, sometimes games just randomly go on sale. That might be something that happens. I'll keep my eye on it. Didn't want you to think I just ignored your request or your suggestion. And thank you for telling me that I'm a hero for doing this. It's nice that someone appreciates what I'm doing. Because it's very taxing. You know, this will wear you out, but quick. I need to move it back down this way some. There. That's better. There we go. And I know Jess was yelling at me for using the smaller tip. But I just feel like you have a little more control. I feel like there's a little more control when you're using this size tip. If you dry out the marker, you won't be able to... Well, then why'd you give it to me? Are you afraid of that? Is that what you're telling me? Are you saying stop using my markers now? Are you afraid now that it's going to get dried out? Like it's not going to survive this project? I mean, if that's the case, then I'll put it away and I'll go get, you know, one of the Sharpies I was going to use. But you told me not to do that. And you brought me your whole big bag of markers, and now you're yelling at me on the stream in the chat saying don't use it. Don't dry out my stuff because then I can't finish my project. Well, okay. Do I need to put the cap on and find another color to use? Now that I've already got this done? Gosh. See what she says to that. Is she going to make me put the marker away now? She's watching me color and she's critiquing it and saying I'm going too slow. And I'm going to dry her markers out because of the pace that I choose. Oh, you're making a joke. Well, you didn't use any laughing emojis. You didn't say lol. It just looked like you were yelling at me. And like I was doing a bad thing by drying your markers out when you had projects to finish. And I don't want to be a dick and ruin your projects that you have in session for this silly Lisa Frank that I'm doing. I know you like your markers. I'm not trying to ruin them. Real talk. But you said these are supposed to even out over time as they dry, eh? Because it's looking a little splotchy up here. But again, that could be attributed to the kind of board we're working with here, you know, it being so slippery and slickery. What's happened now? Oh, I hate when YouTube does this. They're like, video pause, continue watching. Yes, I will tell you if I want you to pause, YouTube. Don't you guys hate that shit? Last I checked, you guys put a pause button right there on the video. And I will use that if I want the music turned off. Like, why do they feel the need to check in? That's like a form of digital handling. And I don't appreciate it.
Hashtag stop digital handling. Leave me alone. Let me listen to my music. Because you know what? Here I am. I'm like getting in the groove. Starting to feel it. And then, wait, hold on a second. Something's not right. Oh, it's that the music stopped. And now I'm not grooving anymore. And now I have to walk across the room and deal with the prompt. You know when I don't have to do that? When I just put a CD on. Physical media never did that. Imagine how ridiculous that would have been. If you had like the 10 disc changer, you load it up with your favorite CDs, you press play, and then like halfway through the second disc that it switched to, your CD player stops. And it's like, are you sure you want to keep listening? Yeah. That's why I pressed play. If I didn't want to listen, I'd walk over here and I'd press stop. Ronnie does love being handled. He's probably being handled right now. One thing he couldn't handle was this stream. That's why he decided to scurry away after 2 seconds. He didn't know what to do about all the artistry. He didn't know how to handle it. Well, that's okay. Not everyone knows how to handle something like this. It's very artistic. Very serious. Very heavy, very deep, man. Whoa, that's heavy, man. Very, very deep. Very intense. What other things are along that same sort of description byway, if you would call it such a thing? That's heavy, man. That's intense, man. Whoa, that's deep, man. Anything else like that the guy with that voice would say? What else would he say? Very heavy, man. Very intense. You wouldn't say profound. That's not the right vibe. Let's hear my best Keanu. I don't know. I know the Joey Lawrence one. Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! From Blossom. Whoa! Keanu is more of like his is like really understated. It's just whoa. Just kind of like a breath out. Whoa. Not like the Joey Lawrence. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You got to get kind of a voice crack. Watch Blossom at 10 p.m. this Thursday on NBC. Was it on NBC? I don't remember. Blossom. With what's her name? Marla Bialik. Maya Bialik. She was the host of Jeopardy for a second until everyone was like, what are you guys doing? Just let us watch Ken Jennings. Why are you letting Blossom host, like, I don't know, a few times a week, once a week? Those would always be the worst episodes. You sit down, turn on Jeopardy for dinner time, and it's like, oh God, we got a Blossom episode tonight. Where's Ken? You've got the most successful Jeopardy player of all time, and then you just swap him out with Blossom. Why? I mean, eventually they realized that was silly, and they let her go, and now I think it's just... Is it just Ken Jennings now all the time? I haven't watched it for a while. You think the one guy would say trippy? Very deep, man. Trippy, man. No, he wouldn't say trippy, he'd say that's a trip. A subtle difference there. That's a trip, man. It's like a different era. I think trippy is a bit new school. The guy I'm thinking of is... he's at least in his late 40s, probably into his 50s. Very heavy, man. Very intense, man. You're telling me it's been an hour? No, actually that's not true because I didn't start until like a half hour into the stream. I didn't actually start coloring until I was a half hour in. So that's not completely accurate. Also, as I mentioned before, it's made trickier by the fact that I've got to try and see this thing from much further away than I'd like to. Because I've got a less than favorable setup going right now. This is kind of rigged up in kind of a strange way. But I'm making the most of it. And I'm trying not to complain. But when you start calling me out on my time, I'm going to defend myself and I'm going to try to tell you why I might be moving a little slower than normal. That's because I have to kind of to stop and gather my wits from time to time and then go back over these spots where I see stuff is not kind of sticking the way I want it to. Then I've got a glare that I'm trying to do combat with. So though it looks extremely simple, I'm sure, it's really not. There's some intensity to it. And I'm not just going to try and blast through it quickly. I want to take my time. If I'm doing this on a live stream and it's archived for the internet to see, man, I want it to be worth everyone's time and effort. My effort to create it, your effort to sit here and watch it. Does that track? You feel me, man? Is that deep and heavy? Yeah, it took me 30 minutes to do this, yes. Guilty as charged. You can't rush perfection. You think it's going to be a 4-hour stream? I mean, it wouldn't be the first time. I streamed for 4 hours in Vegas. I have no problem doing that. Will I? I don't think so. I don't think it'll be quite 4 hours. I think once I get these big spots taken care of, the rest of it's going to go pretty quick. But, you know, I'm trying to be extra careful because if I color inside the spots at all, that's going to fudge up what we do when we move on to the next portion. That's going to make our other colors not look as nice. And I don't want to have that happen. Because guess what? Yeah, Frank Lee, as JJ says, I should take my time on this masterpiece. This could be part of a giveaway. It could be a giveaway, or it could be part of an auction. I could auction this off at the end of the stream. Yeah, why would I give it away? I can't give this away. This would probably fetch a high price on the painter's market. But maybe I'll give you a discount. I'll start the bidding at what I think is a pretty fair price. I won't gouge you. We'll start the bidding at a nice fair price. Nothing exorbitant. Nothing cray-cray, as they say. Just a nice fair price. I'm thinking maybe 5 cents. We'll start the bidding at 5 cents for this piece. And it could be yours. It'll go to the highest bidder. No, not $1 million. We're not going to do that. Like I said, a fair price. 5 cents. Good Brother bids 5 cents for, well, I'm not going to give you the title yet. I don't think painters normally name the piece until it's finished, right? Is that how they do it? It seems like it'd be bad luck to name a piece before it's all done. See, look at that. We covered a bit of ground right there. I wonder if any of the squeaking is coming through. Can you guys hear any of the squeaking? Are you getting any ASMR at all out of this? Because we've got some good squeaks happening. It'd be a shame if it wasn't coming through at all for anyone. Good kind of squeaking. Some squeaking I can't stand. Like tooth squeaks. If I ever take a bite of something and it's kind of like squishy and it squeaks against my tooth, that makes me want to throw up. That's nasty. That's not a good feeling. Sona's too poor. That's all right. You know, not everyone can afford high quality artwork to hang up in their home. It is a luxury. So this is going to go to someone living more of a luxurious lifestyle. You can bet on that. That's just the way it goes. You know, I'd like to own an original Liechtenstein, but I can't. I just don't have that kind of money. You may want to own an original Super Divorce, but you may not be in that income category yet. I believe that you can be someday if you put your mind to it. You might be able to own an original Super Divorce Lisa Frank marker display. That's there for the taking if you want it. I think there's a timeline where you get one of these for yourself to hang up in your own home. but just maybe not yet. You're not quite there yet. That's okay. That means you got somewhere to go. You got growing to do. You've got life to grow into, places to go, people to meet, goals to achieve. A little uneven up here. Not a fan of how this dried up in this section. It's just a little silly. I don't know why, but I'm gonna have to move on. Now here's a question, guys. I'm just gonna cap that for a sec. Oh, thank you, good brother, for $2. You say, hang it behind me in streams. I can hang it right behind me. That's a good spot for it. Okay, I could continue on with the orange, or since these are magical Lisa Frank cats, we could make the heads and the bodies different colors. So we could have an orange head with a different colored body if we want to, or we can make him all orange. Whichever you prefer. But the idea struck me and I was like, I better ask the chat what to do about that. Do we want orange and orange, or do we want orange and a different color body? Jess said she likes I accidentally made a bit of a smooth gradient that makes sense with the light source. Yeah, I totally didn't mean to do that, but I guess I did, kind of. I actually see that. Interesting. Jorphus suggests to fill all the black spots. It's easier, he says. Yeah, if anyone outbids Good Brother for this by the end of the stream, then you'll get it. But as for now, this is going behind me, and you'll see it hanging in streams and uploads in the future. Unless someone else bids higher, then they get to decide what happened. I could send it to you. I could burn it. It'll be yours to decide the fate of. But what do you think? I'm waiting. Make its body orange with a yellow tummy. I can't do that. JJ says red. All right, red, it's going to be red. Someone else can pick the color combo on these because JJ suggested orange and now he's given us red for the body. Make a yellow body, said Jorphus. Okay, so that's like an orange and lemon. Now we got people arguing. Sona says everyone's saying yellow. All right, sorry JJ. At least you got to pick the head. You picked the orange head. Why can't I do orange and yellow tummy? Here's why. This is why I can't do just a yellow tummy, is because there's no hard stop. And I'm not blending. We're not doing any blending here. It's like, imagine using the paint bucket tool in Microsoft Paint. You just come over here and you'd click, and all of this would be filled with the same color. And only the spots would be left white because we haven't done those yet. Now, here's the exception. We do have the opportunity to color the paws a different color when we get down to the bottom. Cell shade it, bitch, is what she said. But no, there's not. Look, do you see what I mean? You have to see what... You have to see what I mean. Jorphus gets what I'm saying. There is no belly section. It's just body and paws. Those are the two flavors that we have to color left. I mean, you go really wild and you can make each paw a different color if you wanted to. It is a Lisa Frank magical cat. But we've got this section, which people say they want to see it colored in yellow. And then we've got the paws. We could do red paws. The section with no spots. That's this right here. That's this. Right here. See? I see what you mean. There's no spots right here. But it goes up into the area with spots. There's no hard cutoff to say, this is the tummy area. It blends into the rest of the body. So I would have to just stop the yellow right here. And then you'd have the rest of this piece where you've got hard stops. You've got like a bunch of color that surrounds the hard stop of the iridescent outline. And then another color inside the iridescent outline. Right here, it would just be like yellow. And then I have to make up my own hard stop. And I'm not willing to do that. I can't make a hard cutoff. It'll look stupid. It'll look dumb. You guys don't get it. You're not seeing what I'm seeing. You don't understand what I'm saying. You don't understand how the entire rest of the piece will feature colors. Like you use the paint bucket tool to fill in a section, and that filled in everywhere that it didn't run up against an iridescent outline. Sona said to the left of their left paw has enough space. This right here, is that what you're saying? That doesn't work. Again, imagine you have the paint bucket tool and you clicked right here. If you clicked with the paint bucket tool right here and you dropped yellow, it would go, oh, yellow, 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 yellow. Yeah, that's great. That's great. We're going through this little chasm right here. Yeah, we're going to continue filling yellow and yellow and yellow and yellow. And you want it to stop here, but there's no iridescent outline to stop it. It would continue going this way. Oh, and yes, we're going to, oh yeah, we colored here, but we're also going to continue out. Oh, here, we're coloring the whole thing now. It's all yellow. It's all yellow. It's all going yellow, yellow, yellow. And that's the problem. That's why it doesn't work.
Like this, you make your own cutoff. Like this.
I can't make my own cutoff.
Like this, you just draw a line where you want the orange to stop, and then you make it yellow.
But the rest of the stops all go against the iridescent,
Like
colorful outline, the sparkly
and
outlines.
just make this, and just make it there.
No, it keeps going. That's why I was using this to point out. It goes through this little gap right here, and it would keep going.
You make your own shadow.
I can't do that.
Fine. You lose then.
I'm not willing to do that.
Y'all trash.
I don't care. Everyone wants to make fun of me. You guys go for it. And the fact that, yeah, she tried to take my coffee and it's all gone.
Do you want more?
No, I guess not.
You sound so sad.
Because no one understands my vision.
Then why'd you even ask for input?
I just asked what color to use, not also what type of shading should I do.
You said
Should I
what
start-
kind of shading you wanted to do.
Yes, I was already very clear about that.
Okay.
That hard stops, and I'm using the hard stops that they've provided for me. You see,
Yep.
that's what I'm saying. That's my vision.
I'm sure it'll look great.
JJ gets it.
He knows you'll do it.
That is what I won't do.
Okay, then you do it.
Okay. What's Warrior doing?
Invading the stream.
Ah,
He's coming to tell you how to cell shade.
it probably is. Okay.
Are you done?
No.
Oh, you gonna keep going?
About to get back to work.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I hover over you and watch?
No.
Does that make you nervous?
No, it doesn't make me
He's
nervous.
got a little bit of tail poof over here too.
I see that.
You gonna make the tip yellow?
I'm taking votes. I'm taking
okay.
suggestions.
All right.
It's wide open. Jess just standing behind me staring.
You can color.
No,
I'm watching.
Hmm?
I'm just watching. You can color. I think you're
Oh,
doing
that's the
great.
wrong one.
I think you're doing a really nice job. I like your picture.
Everyone's invading. All right. Okay, here we go. With the yellow. And we'll start over here. Hold on. Let me get the thing in a good spot. And that's good. Hopefully you'll be able to see it all right. This feels a little more agreeable than the orange. I don't know if that's actually true, but feels like it is. Feels like it's working a little more smoothly. You said this won't smear.
Oh, I don't know about it. Shouldn't. It's
I don't
designed
wanna end
not
up with
to, but I don't know what format that paper is. It's like poster board.
I know.
Doesn't smear on most mediums.
Doesn't smear on Moster board.
Look at Warrior. He moved. He looked like he had no arms and legs. He wants to be cell shaded.
No. Anything but a cell shaded warrior.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness.
What?
The humans.
Jorphus likes your nails.
Thank you, Jorphus. That's so nice.
And Good
How
Brother.
did he see him?
I guess when you were in the stream.
Oh, when I was pointing.
Yeah.
When I
Good
was
Brother
coming
said
in
I
to
had
invade.
performance anxiety. I don't think so. I just don't like to be lorded over.
I don't either when I'm doing art projects.
I know
I
I've
can't
seen you
stand it.
yell at Lazarus for that.
Yeah, I used to have severe anxiety when people would watch me draw. That's why when I did that one live stream once and then I
Yeah.
never did it again, that was a lot for me.
Well,
I'm better now about it, but I still don't like it.
okay. See, we're picking up the pace. What are you drawing now?
Nothing. I felt the urge to draw something, but I didn't know what to draw, so I'm gonna go away.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna draw you something silly, but I couldn't think of what to draw.
Oh, all right. Well, thanks for trying. Just kidding. Now she's picked up the marker again. What are you drawing now? Think of something? Oh,
So,
thanks. She gave me an I love you. How sweet.
alright, I'll go away now.
All right. Love you.
It's hard not to draw when other people are drawing.
Well, draw then. No one's stopping you.
You yelled at me.
Just for telling me how to draw my picture.
Fine. Ooh, draw a wiener. Yes! Okay.
Don't draw a wiener.
Someone told me to.
Why is it like that? You're gonna draw Willem Dafoe's Draw a Willem Dafoe schlong for Sona here.
I didn't make it long enough. he's happy.
Hmm? A happy peen.
Looks like he's got little centipede feet. There you go.
Hold on. Can't see it. Where'd it go?
YouTube is censoring it.
There.
Looks like a little gremlin. Look at him.
Unreal. You made Sona's dreams come true. All right, there we go. There. Watch my channel get deleted now for explicit material. We had a report that you were drawing dirty pictures on your internet stream. Yeah. Some of Jess's best work. Speaking of dickheads, there was an old porno film called The Dickheads that my friend's dad had. And it was about like an alien race. They were aliens. And they quite literally had dickheads. Probably can find it online somewhere, I bet. Back in the olden days when you'd go rummaging around in your friends' parents' bedrooms. I wonder what kind of pornos your dad has. Let's go and try and find out. Seems like everyone's parents had something. Usually hidden in a really dumb spot. Oh gosh. I remember discovering porno stashed in the kitchen of all places. Like, you know how there's usually that cabinet or two cabinets that people have. I feel like you saw it a lot in the 90s. But two cabinets up high in the kitchen, maybe like over top of the refrigerator or over the stove. Like up above the stove top, way up high, just like two tiny cabinets. And you'd never go in there for anything. Like, the family would never put anything in there. You never routinely got into those cabinets for anything. So they just like went unused. And everyone kind of knew that. And I guess that was like the thinking behind putting a porn tape in there behind like another box. I don't even remember what I was doing looking through there. Why? Because I mean, now that I'm saying it out loud, it's like, yeah, I guess that is as good a spot as any, because for years and years and years and years and years, I never opened those cabinets. And then I did one day for some reason, and it was like, oh, there's a porno tape up here. That's weird. You guys ever find a porno? Maybe at your home, at your friend's parents, in their bedroom. Maybe you guys had some dirty mags stashed. We also had like a fort at my friend's house that we had built, you know, like a really shitty fort in his backyard that we used like some old plywood and like subflooring to make this just like bullshit little construction with like a tunnel that led into it. And we had like a little trap door on the floor, and inside that trap door were a few dirty magazines that we had taken from my friend's father's stash of various ones that he had. Not just Playboy either. Hustler, Penthouse. So the stuff that was uncommon to see back in those days. Because, you know, growing up at that time, typically what you got to see was your softcore, you know, on Cinemax, the old Skinemax or HBO After Dark. Pretty tame stuff by today's standards, you know, but it was all good back then. But it was very rare that you would see hardcore stuff like in pre-internet times. You had to stumble upon someone's parents having the right VHS tape, or you know, like I said, there you find a Hustler or a Penthouse. It was more often that someone's dad would have a Playboy, because that's almost acceptable. Some people back in the day would have Playboy sitting out on their counter or on a coffee table. And there'd always be the excuse, well, I like to read the articles in it, you know. With Hustler, Penthouse, there was none of that. No one was ever making an excuse like that with Hustler or Penthouse. They were never saying, oh yeah, I'm just a big fan of Larry Flint. I love to see what kind of articles he's putting into his magazines month by month. Jorfus never stumbled upon a porn. I mean, that's probably like an experience from a bygone era at this point. I don't know many people who are like stashing away porno tapes or DVDs in 2025. There's really no need for it anymore. You know, you've got the entire library of earthly pornography available at your fingertips 24/7 with your cell phone. So it's like, who's going to go through the trouble of hiding one oversized VHS tape? You know, they always had the oversized boxes for some reason with porn. Like the deluxe box. It's like as big as a cereal box for some reason. Jorfus did see an interesting search in the school computers one time. Surprised they wouldn't have that blocked, you know, some sort of like net safeguard. When my buddy first got the internet, I remember his dad tried to put some sort of, you know, lock on it. Had this program called Net Nanny. Took my buddy about 10 minutes to crack that and figure out how to turn it off. You know, it's like, why even bother? What's the point? Kids are savvy. So we were checking out Dad's jerk-off material. I mean, I guess, technically speaking, I feel like that's a pretty... That was how you discovered a lot of that shit back in the day. Like I said, pre-internet. Yeah. If you could find it. It's like going treasure hunting. You kind of felt like you were in the Goonies, going to look for One-Eyed Willie's rich stuff. It was an adventure. Especially if you made off with some plunder. Just have to hope that the dad, you know, didn't keep meticulous track of which magazines he had, or if you maybe took his favorite one. That could have been disastrous. You don't think about that at the time, but it could always happen. You could be like, oh, he'll never notice. But then he's got that one issue that he always goes back to, and you grab that one and take it out to your fort. Ooh, and then you're going to send him off on a hunt. Oh, I know those little fuckers took my book. I'll rip this place apart. And then he finds it in your fort. You wouldn't want that to happen. You don't want to get in the way of Dad and his jerk-off material in 1992. Because he couldn't just order another copy, you know? Once again, I need to reiterate because people get so used to it. Pre-internet days, guys. Pre-internet. You lose your favorite porno mag, you can't just go on eBay and get another copy. You're probably rightly fucked. That's probably about that. Probably about the size of things. You're going to have to find a new favorite. Hey, we're not being too explicit here. I'm not talking about it's not about the pictures on the inside of the magazine. It's about the experience. We're talking about coming of age, no pun intended. Sona. Just good old-fashioned coming of age stories. Stuff as such you might see in a movie like Stand By Me. Just good old-fashioned bullshit. Good Brother said his friends and him just boosted it from stores. Really? That seems dangerous. I feel like they always kept, well, maybe it was different. But those would always be like behind the counter with cigarettes and shit with like a black piece of, they'd have them in like a slip cover, or they'd be sold in like a plastic wrap, and then they'd have like the lady covered up on the front with a black piece of cardboard in front of her or something like that on the more explicit mags. Oh, great. Guess what it did again? Thank you very much. Yes, I would like to continue watching, and I would like for you never to ask me that again. Fucking YouTube. Okay, we were talking about coming of age stories. Pun intended. Pun fully intended. Fully intentional punning going on. And also, Sona, you can't sit here and act all innocent when you were talking about getting Willem Dafoe's number the other night because you found out that he was endowed by the Lord with certain characteristics. So I don't want to hear anything from you. You're just as bad as the rest of us. Maybe worse. Sona wanted to track down... Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't see that she said the boys were tuning in. I'm sorry. I didn't realize. Well, I didn't know that there were small children. See how I didn't know that. I missed like one thing. That's why I put It's not safe for work. She was trying to be respectful. I didn't know. It's not safe for work, though. I didn't know that. Then they can, you could turn the sound off and just watch the coloring. I don't know where the conversation's gonna go. It's almost midnight. Why would I assume little kids are watching? I would think it's bedtime. Bedtime for babies. It's not a children's coloring doodle. This is for people of all ages. We already went over this. Anyone can do Lisa Frank coloring from 1 to 92, from 5 to 55 to 105 to 155. It doesn't matter your age. It requires skill, attention, deftness, agility, fine motor skills, savviness. It requires focus, attention to detail, good manners, good timekeeping. All the skills that one needs to succeed in life. Dedication, discipline, talent. You got to have it all to be able to do this. Now, okay, you know what? I think this tail would be the same color as the rest of the body right here, but the tip of the tail can be different. Okay, what do we want to color just the tip? What would be a good color for just the tip here? What do you think? Sona's not going to cancel me. I can't be canceled. I'm immune to cancellation. Leave it white. Same color as the paws, just says pink or purple. Okay, so we want pink or purple paws. Pink or purple paws. Pink or purple paws. 1 a penny, 2 a penny, pink or purple paws. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? What's your favorite color now? What's it gonna be? Someone pick and choose. Someone pick and choose. Pick and choose. Pick and choose. I don't want to lose. Make it like Tails from Sonic. Maybe I should track down a Sonichu medallion to color in on a live stream. Just that my song sucks. I hope you don't think that that song sucked, guys, because that was a little taste of the demo track that's going to be on the first cassette that I send out. So hopefully you like that song. JJ says purple goes well with yellow. Paint it black. Well, I got a lot of different ideas coming up here. We've got no consensus so far. People are throwing out all sorts of different things. Black, pink, purple, white. Okay, I'm gonna decide. Since no one could, since you guys couldn't figure it out together, I'm gonna figure it out on my own. A SCG says clear. Hello, ASCG. Ask. I don't think I can leave it clear. I don't want to do that. That's going to come across as lazy. I don't want to be seen as a lazy artist tonight. I want people to see all the hard work that I did. When they look at this piece, I want them to see coloration in every possible place I could have colored. I don't want to leave anything white. I've got enough detractors as it is, people who like to trash talk me, drag my name through the mud. And I'd like to give them as little ammo as possible. Jorphus and Sona are singing Rolling Stones there. No, we're not doing pink paws, purple spots. Absolutely not. No, we're not doing that. We can do, like, we can do these spots purple. Is that what you're saying? Black's not going to work here because it's the black and then the iridescent, I don't think it's going to look good. Now, maybe what might look cool is when we're done going through and doing a black outline all the way around and then filling this space in right here with black. I could see that working maybe. But then there's also the option to make that something colorful too, like a bright blue. Okay, pink paws it is. I like that idea. We'll do pink paws and purpley spots. Here we go. And this is where we can really pick up the pace a bit and just look how quickly we can do the paws right here. Because there's no spots to worry about. Though it feels a little clunky. I'm gonna still switch for this part so I don't accidentally go into the yellow. I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna give myself a buffer. Just about like that. Go. Just a buffer. It's no big deal. Don't worry about it. Just buffering it up a little bit. You know, we're talking about some stuff, some adventuring as young kids. I just went with Jess and the boys to a park that I used to go to all the time as a youngster. And it got me wondering, did you guys have a favorite park as a child? What was it like? What'd you do there? The park, and what was it called? Because sometimes parks have weird names. Like the one I just went back to, it was called Hintermeister Park. How is that for a park name? Hintermeister. Jess didn't believe me at first when I told her that's what it was called. I was like, yes, it's called Hintermeister Park. She thought I was making it up. And I was like, no, it's right there. Look at the sign. But they had a really cool, huge hill for sledding and snowboarding. And at the very bottom of this huge hill was like a large mound, probably about, I don't know, you're going down this hill for, had to have been, I would say between 40 and 50 yards length. That's how far down the slope was. And then at the bottom, probably about a 5-foot bump of earth, a little mound that ran like the crossways ran across the hill at the bottom, the full length of it. And so you'd get to the bottom of this hill, and then you'd go over that little mound. And if you got going good, you could launch yourself right into the creek on the other side of that mound. And that was an interesting thing to do in the middle of winter time. If it was frozen over, no problem. You'd kind of land hard on the ice and walk it off. But there were a few times that I broke through the ice, or it wasn't all the way iced over. And now you're in, whatever, 6 inches to a foot of water. You got your snowsuit and your snow boots all covered in wetness. And that wasn't good. Jorfus's favorite park was called San Martin Park. It was very long with lots of grass, bushes, trees, and playgrounds around 5 yards. It was perfect to walk or just chill out there. Also had some stone tables and a cycle path. That sounds nice. When's the last time you went there, Jorfus? Have you been back in a while? Or was it strictly just when you were a younger kid? Sometimes it's fun to revisit the old stomping grounds. At least I think so. I'm kind of a nostalgic guy, though. Not everyone's into that. Not everyone likes nostalgia. I remember being startled by that. I read an interview with Harrison Ford one time, and they were asking him about if he ever got nostalgic for some of his old movies, and he said, "No, I'm not a nostalgic person. I don't really get into that." I was like, how can you not be? I love nostalgia. All right, we got this right here. We got this paw to do. Here we go. Coloring it in like so. There we go. Jorfus still goes to his park every time he takes a walk near his house. Did you have a favorite piece of playground equipment at the park? When we went to Hintermeister the other day, I was doing the swings. I did the old stand-up trick. Lazarus couldn't believe how high I was able to go by standing up. You know, you stand on the swing seat, and then you do the swing. You start swinging as you normally would, only you're standing up. He's like, "How are you doing that? How are you getting up so high?" You just got to pull yourself up, man. Stop being a baby. You never go to the playgrounds. Well, maybe you used to, right? When you were younger. I would imagine you went to the playgrounds when you were a younger boy. All right. Here we go. Getting it nicely filled. There we are. Though when you do this, you know, the wider brush, it's a little bit trickier to get a nice even layering here. I'm getting some like streaking that I'm not a big fan of. And I don't know exactly how to make that go away. Might just have to deal with it. Oh well. I mean, it still looks alright. It's not bad. CG said, I never paid attention to park name, but mine had an outdoor racquetball court. For some reason that stood out. I've never seen an outdoor racquetball court before. I don't even know how you do that. Was it like a racquetball court? I mean, you have to have walls. How could it be outdoor? Unless you mean it was just like a standalone racquetball court in the middle of the park that you would still have to like open a door and go into, I guess. Elsewise, I don't know how you'd be able to do that. I've never heard of a racquetball court just in a park. Usually you have to have like a Y membership, or we used to have one at an apartment complex we lived in, which was also kind of rare. That was a cool amenity. I like playing racquetball. Just you don't see racquetball courts very often. No doors, it was just a giant, tall, concrete wall. That's crazy. Never heard of that before. Have I ever messed up a drawing so bad I said, fuck it, and made scratches around the drawing? Yeah, of course I have. I probably got one I can show you, actually. Let me see, because I was moving stuff around, I'm kind of trying to get my office decluttered, and I found, is it right here? I actually found some stuff from when I was doing a drawing program a few years ago, and I think I had some scratched up shit in there that I didn't like because I didn't do a good job. Let me see if I can find something scratched out for you, and then I'll get back to coloring. Oh yeah, here. Well, it's not totally scratched out, but I was trying to draw this dessert cake with like a gloop of fucking icing or whatever, some sort of jelly icing like rolling down from the top of it. And the course I was doing was like 100% marker and pen. So you weren't allowed to like rough anything in with pencil. It was just like, use your pen for this or use your marker. And you just have to, if you make a mistake, you just have to keep going on it, or you just have to start over again. So I was practicing on this page, this awful page right here. See if I can get this in the frame properly. Maybe I'll have to turn it like that. Let me see. Yeah, it's upside down, but here, I'll pick it up. I'll pick up the damn thing because that looks stupid. This looks like an ass right there. It's like a big butt. But I was just trying to get the shape so I could draw it properly, and it just was really bad. Didn't do a good job. I think that's where I started here, and I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm just going around here, and I'm just gonna make this. I'm gonna try and make this basic like swoop-de loop, because you had to do like the top. You had to do the top like in one motion, and then a little drip of the shit coming down here off the side. Yeah, it's like butt and gloops. Lots of gloops and butts. I did more over here. I didn't like where it was going, so I drew this egg guy with a sword and shield. More over here. I mean, that's a little bit better. That was okay, but I didn't like any of those. Obviously, I was just trying to do something workable. And I was just trying to do that. Oh yeah, that is like Gudetama all trained up. He's like a warrior Gudetama. Yeah. I don't know if I actually ever did a good job with it. Then I started just drawing circles to try and get better at doing it. That's okay. I mean, it's not Jess's work or anything. I didn't, full transparency, I didn't create that guy. He was on a page where you could go and you can just like look up a bunch of 3D models and move them around for references. So I didn't create that guy. I drew him. Stop. No, I'm not going to stop. It's true. You could probably draw this little cake treat a lot better than me. No, probably about it. You could. And then once you drew it, another exercise was like, all right, now once you draw something, I want you to try to cut it up into pieces from different perspectives. So it was like, all right, that's a bit better. And then I had to cut it in half, I cut it in 3 pieces like that. And there's this guy, then I had to take him apart. See, he's surprised because he didn't like being cut up. There's some action poses. Jess likes the Schreises. Thanks. The Eggman versus the super evil cakes we got here. Drew some more tasty treats on this page. That little guy on the ice cube from some different viewpoints or points of view. There's a tree, gnarled limb, some sort of strange guy. Some computers, some old-fashioned computers. This is like the first computer my dad had. I remember that. Some other shits, some old TVs, monitors, more stuff like that. Just said those are better than the dessert book drawings in the Hallmark Amish baking Christmas recipe stealing movie. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I could be a bakery drawing man. Some eagles. Bones. There you go. That's about it for that. You think that looks cool, Jorphus? You like some of this stuff? Jess said, hey, that looks almost like Tattoo Flash. Yeah, it does, now that you mention it, huh? Well, I told you. I could try. I could do my best. Yep. I don't know if I got anything else cool. Nothing in there. Not really. What do we got here? Probably about it. I think that's about it. Thanks for coming to my program. I'll get back to the coloring in just a second. Oh, I did this. I got some sexy OC that I drew for a character that this is an original creation. I made this character. That's OC. That's my character I never finished inking or anything. But that was going to be, I'd seen like an OC, it was like an OC summer calendar a few years ago. I was like, oh, I'll give it a shot, because I was going to do this kind of a fun little action comedy manga that I had planned to do, and I never really dove into it all the way. I started laying it out, but then I just never got all into it. So I don't know, maybe sometime I'll pick it back up again, but yeah. Drawer giving birth. That's a very particular market. I never got into that. I mean, I liked Jess when she was pregnant, but I've never been. I've never like ran a search for pregnant ladies. But I guess we know what Jorphus is up to. Okay. What's up here? Bear with me just one more second. I'm looking for something. I did have one more thing I wanted to share with the chat. If I could find it. It's like one of the only things that I've drawn that I feel really proud of. And it's not an original. I mean, it's something that I copied from an artist that I'm a huge fan of. Oh, a couple things. I did this. I thought this was one of my better works. The main character from Black Magic. That's one of my show pieces, if I had to say. Did all right with that one. And then probably my fave is this right here. That's the cover of, that's an Appleseed cover from one of the individual comics that was released here in the United States. The comic adaptation. Originally it was a manga, released in Japan, and then they released them in individual issues here in the States. But that's probably, I think, the coolest thing I've ever drawn. I'm proud of that one. It'd be nice to be good enough to just do that like off the top of your dome. Jorphus wants to see the other character giving. I won't be doing that. We're not going to do that. Yeah, guys, imagine. You've been watching me color in this Lisa Frank. Imagine how long it took me to color all this black in right here. Not missing a single little spot. No, not quite weeks. It did take a while. But, yeah. Make the fat man give birth. Him? He's not fat. He's jacked, dude. He's a big guy. He's pretty jacked. Here were some storyboards for another comic idea that I had. I had worked that all out. It's kind of sad to look at stuff like that because you're like, you see all these things you were going to do, and then whatever. You let laziness win the day, or whatever the shit happened. Oh. What do we got here? Okay. We need to color the tip of the tail. What are we going to do here with the tip of the tail? Did we want to go pink or a different color? Because we said we're going to do the spots purple. Read. Yes, this is the project that matters. This is the only one that matters. This will be my new showpiece. When I talk about the drawing, the art that I'm most proud of, it's going to be this one from now on. How do I get that better in frame? There we go. Yeah. No, we're not going to do black. I don't think any black. I'll start coloring these in, and we'll try and figure it out as we go. So we're going with a purpley on the spots. Purpley on the spots, just like that. Jess wants me to come in and start coloring in tribal tats for people. Maybe I can do that without much training. You can just have me be like a utility color guy. People can do their fancy outlines and all that stuff, and I'll just come in and color in tattoos for people. Like any solid black you need done, I'll come in. Okay, I got it. I'm your guy. I'm like the all black fixer. I'll come in and do the shit no one else wants to do. Black packing is tough as fuck. Well, you know, maybe that can be my thing. I'll just be the packer. You need some packing done? Call me up. JJ's calling this one freaky gay baby leopard. You think he's gay? It's not super gay. It's not like full rainbow regalia. It's just multicolored. It's just fancy. I don't think that necessarily means that he's gay. Why do gay people automatically get all the fancy colors? I think it was a little, I don't know, a little presumptuous for gay people to think that they could just take the rainbow. I mean, that's like that's a pretty universal thing. It's like something that, it's one of those things that like everyone looks at. How do you make that your symbol? How does anyone make the rainbow like their cause's thing? You know what I mean? It seems like it should be in the public domain of ideas in a way. Because anyone else who wants to use the rainbow is always fighting against that. Oh, it must be a gay deal you're doing, right? No, I just think rainbows are nice. It has nothing to do with activism. And then retroactively, it's like, oh, Rainbow Bright. That must have been some sort of gay show. No, it wasn't. It was just rainbows because it's like a rainbow. When Double Rainbow All the Way guy was mesmerized by the double rainbow, he was in a state of rapture due to the natural phenomenon of seeing not just one but two rainbows in the sky all the way. It wasn't a gay thing. Gay people are welcome to enjoy the rainbow too. I'm just saying to take it as yours. I don't think straight people should be able to take the rainbow either. It's like the rainbow's for everybody. That's an everybody thing. You can't take that toy. That should be for everyone. You can't take that home. That stays here at the nursery. Sona said Skittles did it, and then JJ said taste the rainbow indeed. I remember seeing, I think it was like a parody Skittles commercial where you can probably, I think it's on YouTube, where a guy and a girl are having relations, and when the guy achieves climax, you see Skittles like spray all over this girl. She's not nude or anything, but they're in like that type of scenario. But yeah, I guess Skittles did do that, didn't they? Skittles, they took it back for themselves, and I guess they used it in a way that was able to sort of decouple from the gay association. You don't necessarily think of gay people when you see Skittles, so they're able to kind of break the conditioning in a way. But oftentimes, that's just not how it goes. Gayness and rainbows have been so closely intertwined for many years now that, you see someone wearing a rainbow t-shirt and you're like, oh, that's, they're out and proud. They're out here repping the cause today. They're on their way to the local pride meeting or some such thing. When in reality, it might just be that they like rainbows. They might just be a rainbow fan. They might have like a whole room dedicated to rainbows for no other reason than they like rainbows. They might have like rainbow figurines and posters and things. Jorfus is going to unsubscribe. For what? What did I do wrong? Oh, thank you, YouTube. They did it again. Gosh. Come on. So unnecessary. It's really unnecessary, man, for them to do that. You know what I'm wondering, though? I'm wondering if all these songs are actually royalty free. I bet what's going to happen is I'm going to look in the analytics after the stream is over and see that it's got like 25 different copyright claims on it, all from different artists, showing the timestamps for when their songs were used. It's probably going to happen. You can't trust any of these royalty-free people, as evidenced by our attempt to stream royalty-free movies. It doesn't work. Not here, anyway. Worked on Twitch. Those are still up. I'd mentioned a while back that they used to put the porno tapes in giant boxes, like cereal-sized boxes, and Well, that leads me to another question I have. What do you believe is the goat of goats when it comes to breakfast cereals? And why is it grape nuts? What's your favorite breakfast cereal of all time? What's the best one, and why is it grape nuts? Ah, jeez, I can't hardly see this. It's a tough spot. Getting a nasty glare on some of this stuff. I was going to stop off at the milk jug sometime for that stream and chomp very loudly, but like I said, I have to take my own grape nuts with me because I don't think they stock them, unfortunately. JJ says Cinnamon Toast Crunch hands down. Sona says Golden Grams retro recipe only. Those two are fantastic picks, and they're cousins. They're like these little Lisa Frank kitty cats. This one's Golden Grams. This one's Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Golden Grams, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. These two right here. Those are definitely stellar picks. I don't know if I agree exactly because I have to think about it for a minute, but those are among my favorites as well. And yes, you got to make sure that you go with that retro recipe on the Golden Grams. Those are fantastic. I mean, it's junk food, guys. They're not good for you. You shouldn't have them every day. But as a treat, they're tough to beat. Either one of those. I would also put in the running old-fashioned Count Chocula. They've done something to the formula over the years. It doesn't taste anything like it used to when I was a child. Not even like a super little kid. I mean, like, probably up until I was in high school, I would still get Count Chocula. And then somewhere along the way, I think it went away for a while. And then they started only bringing it back at Halloween. And when they did that, I was like, yeah, this is awesome that Count Chocula's back, but they've done something to the formula. It's not the same taste. The cereal doesn't taste the same, and neither do the marshmallows. So they fucked with it in some way. And I know that's not the only cereal they've done that to. And there's evidence of that in what we were just talking about. Because they've got the Golden Grams retro recipe. They've got a retro recipe. It's different. See, people be like, oh, you're just making that up. They don't taste any different than they used to. Yes, they do. They do big time. And if they didn't, you wouldn't have some of these brands out there pulling the retro recipe gimmick. Because people know. And they make a big deal about it. They're like, this shit doesn't taste like I remember it tasting. You guys have done something. You've added shit in, or you've taken stuff out. Probably they switched out ingredients to make it cheaper to produce. And they're like, oh, people deal with it. People aren't buying it for the taste. They're buying it because it has the box with the character they like on it. And that, you know, it's not true. It's a whole experience that you're paying for. What? Jorphus has never had cereal before. You've never had any cereal at all? Ever? Jess said grape nuts give her PTSD. Why? Why do you have grape nuts PTSD? What did grape nuts do to you? I think Jorphus must be an alien if he's never, ever, 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 ever had any cereal. Not just most cereals. You never had a cereal. That's crazy. That's absolutely unhinged. Unhinged behavior, I say. To have never had any cereal at all. I just realized when I was looking at this in the light that the purple, I think, is going to cause a little bit of variation in the color on the iridescent outlines, because I haven't been exactly precise with that. I've just tried not to get the purple into the yellow section, and you can kind of see in some spots where the purple bleeds onto the iridescence, and we're just gonna have to deal with that because I can't get my face close enough to it without getting my face in the camera. You're broke AF. Well, I mean, you don't have to be a millionaire to buy a box of cereal. I don't think that really applies. Plenty of poor people eat cereal. I mean, you don't have to get the actual stuff. You can get the off-brand. I feel like cereal in general is pretty cheap. You can buy those big ass bags of the off-brand stuff that's pretty close to the name brand items. But they don't even come in boxes. It just comes in like a huge bag. Almost like you're buying dog food, but it's just full of cereal. You don't have to be rich at all to pay for that stuff. Probably cheaper than most of the other food out there. I'd wager a hazard guess. Yep. I just saw Sona said that the Oreo cereal used to be amazing. I don't know if I ever had that one. Sona's going to overnight Jorphus a square of golden grams. That's the safest dose for non-Americans. It's a good place to start. You wouldn't want to dive in, to like a bowl of, I don't know, what would be really intense for someone who's never had cereal before, where you're basically just eating like a bowl of candy with milk poured on top of it. I feel like Fruit Loops, the one with marshmallows, would be pretty intense for people who've never had any cereal before. That's like straight up candy. Same with probably Count Chocula. That'd be pretty intense. That'd be a big experience. Might knock you out for a few days if you never had cereal. You'd want to start with a low dose, like Sona said. A low dose of something fairly neutral. I mean, if you really wanted to work into it, you'd probably start with a bowl of like rice Chex, which I actually am also a big fan of. And it's a super bland cereal. I'll admit it. My family could never comprehend that I didn't want any sugar added to my cereal. Not that I wouldn't eat sugary cereals. I loved plenty of sugary cereals, but if it didn't come with sugar on it, I did not want sugar added to it. I thought it tasted gross. I never wanted sugar on my Rice Krispies, on my Rice Chex, on Kix. I loved Kix too, and those are pretty tame. So that'd be a good place to start as well, I'd say. A bowl of Kix. Kid tested, mother approved. But does Jess approve of Kix? See what she says. Honey Nut Cheerios, regular Cheerios. I love regular Cheerios. Not with sugar though. Honey Nut's fine. Those are sugary. But I think I actually prefer just regular Cheerios with no sugar. Just the original bland, regular ass Cheerios. Nothing added. I've always loved the flavor of them. Didn't need anything added to it. I'm with you on coffee, Jorfus. I don't put anything in my coffee. No cream, no sugar, just black. Nice black coffee. I always make the job very easy for people when I go to Starbucks. You see all these yahoos ahead of you. They're taking like 15 minutes to place an order because they got to go through all the rigmarole. I want to this. I want a hot juice, a super duper hot mochi toki with extra lemongrass and hold the wheatgrass, and I like to throw a little 2 shoots of prime chalk stick in there, and why don't you give me a little splash of oat milk, and let's do about half the pump of espresso, and can you please give me a little caramel drizzle, and then let's do a little frappe topping on there, or is it frappy? Give me a frappy topping. And they just keep going on, and then I walk up and I say, a venti pike, black. And that's it. And you know the good thing about doing that? Most of the time, even if there's like a super long line of people waiting who are ahead of you, they'll just turn right around and pump the coffee and give it to you. And their thinking is probably like, thank you for not being a douchebag. Here you go. Why can't everyone order like this guy? I don't think I'd be able to handle being a barista. Not saying I couldn't do the job. I'm just saying it's not a place I would want to work, is Starbucks. Or any coffee house like that. I wouldn't mind working at a diner, where people are just ordering a black coffee. Or a coffee, with just some cream and sugar. That's fine, whatever. We can do that. But when your coffee has like 25 ingredients and you're ordering them for the whole office and everyone needs something just to their tasting, it's like, you know what? Let me hit that. That's crazy. I can handle it. What are the odds that just happened? Did you guys hear that? I said, you know what? And then on the song, a guy said, you know what? That was wild. What are the fucking odds of that happening? JJ heard someone getting bricked up. All bricked up and nowhere to go. Oh. That'd be like an adult film star, getting ready to go film. Maybe filming gets canceled for the day. Power's out at the studio, so they give him a call. Just as he's about to head out the door, they're like, hey, We can't film today. Power's out at the studio. We'll call you back when it's rescheduled. Enjoy your day, sir. Enjoy the time off. He's like, damn it. All bricked up and nowhere to go. So those guys, man, they're probably walking around bricked up all the time. Brick by brick, we continue. Lots of bricks have been placed. Still got a few more to go. Just a few. We got just a few bricks left. Want to make sure it doesn't bleed onto my hand and then I transfer it somewhere unfortunate where it shouldn't go. I don't want to do that. Not one bit. But so far, I think Jess is pretty much right. It's done a good job of not bleeding. I think it's drying pretty well. It's adhering pretty well to this strange surface, you know. It's like, she said it's like poster board. That's pretty accurate. Very slickery. Very, very slickery. You know what I wonder about YouTube's ID system? Oh. Well, real quick, let me finish that thought. Is if I were to like put a movie on in the background while I was doing this, I wonder if they'd flag it. I wonder if the stream would get shut down if I say, put on The Matrix in the background. Maybe Keanu Reeves would show up in my house and say, hey man, can't do that. All right, I'll turn it off. Someday they might have something like that. The content ID system flags your stream, and then like a drone bot, a transforming, shape-shifting drone bot flies to your house and takes the form of an actor from the film and knocks on your door and says, hey man, gotta turn that off. Okay. All right. I'll turn off the Hercules, Kevin Sorbo. No worries. And then if you don't turn it off, they turn into the character that you're watching and execute you live on your stream. So for instance, Kevin Sorbo would turn into Hercules and then decapitate you if you didn't comply with YouTube's takedown request. And then he stands up and does the disappointed, because he didn't want to have to kill you, but he did, because you made him. You forced his hand. Why Kevin Sorbo? Because he was in Hercules. I was saying if you were watching Hercules, he'd be the one to show up at your house. If you were watching Law and Order SVU, then Mariska Hargitay or Christopher Meloni might show up. And just as themselves first, they'd be like, hey man, hi, I'm Chris Maloney. You're watching my show without authorization. Can you turn that off? Like, fuck you, dude. And then he turns into Elliot Stabler and shoots you in the head with a firearm that he has. Whatever he uses on SVU, that's the one he'd have, and then he would just execute you. He'd be like, sorry, shouldn't have done it. You should have turned it off. Hey, thanks, Sona, for $2.99. Oh, look at this. It says, let's celebrate. What does it do? Can we do that? What is it? Well, it doesn't really do anything. I guess they just leave it up to me. That was your 20th super on a live stream, Sona. It says, let's celebrate it. Thanks to Sona for 20 supers. Her 20th super chat. Sent to your boy. To your boy. Right here on a live stream. Thanks for the continued support, Sona. They make it look like you could press a button and, you know, send some digital confetti or something, but then you click on it and nothing happens. It's like, okay, well, just imagine I'm sending you digital confetti right now. I wonder why it won't let me. It's kind of poopy. What a nasty trick they've done. Okay, so that's all the purpley spots on this guy. Oh no! We got his face too. The face should probably have different colored spots, I bet. Don't you think? And what about the tail? We want to get that tail done. What are we going to do with that tail? Since Sona, here, Sona, for your $2.99, why don't you decide, this is how we'll celebrate your 20th super. You decide what the spots are going to be colored on this guy's face. On honeygrams. Or, is that what we said? Was it honeygrams? And Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Light green. Interesting. An interesting choice there. Light green. I'm going to have to go into the bag of tricks here and see if I can find a light green to your liking. This is apple green. Oh, that looks too dark. Let's see. Let me see if we can... Is that... I don't know. That seems like it's not coloring as well as you'd like it to. What's this one? Spring green. That one feels even less capable. Let's try this. With that one. It's coming across a little dark. It almost looks like forest greeny instead of light. That's almost like a blue green. They call that emerald. Spearmint. That almost looks gray. That's not gonna work. Parrot green. That's another that looks kind of like blue greenish. Leaf green. What do we got here? This one's called True Green. That's too light. That's another dark one. Huh. How about this one? Or light blue. Let's try this blue one. That's a nice color. I mean, I think that's what she did the drawing with. We could do blue. What do you think for the outside? Because I was considering blue for the outside right here. And I wouldn't want to do blue here and on the spots. So maybe I'll save blue for this and try to find a green that will work. Maybe there's a shade here in the... That's kind of dark. Maybe that one? I feel like it's not coming through exactly the color it actually is. Try these. Are these the same? That looks about the same. What is this called? This is... Well, they don't put the damn name on here. Let me try the other one. Well, darn it. You like this one? The Sharpie? Let's see. All right, hopefully this is good. Yeah, it's got a decent color to it. Looks good against the orange. This is an older one. So it feels like it's giving me a little bit of resistance. I hopefully will get enough out of it to last through what I need to color here on this guy's face. Hope it doesn't run out. You guys see anything good back in the news? Why I switched to Sharpie? Because I couldn't find anything that was like this color in your bag of tricks. And Sona said she liked this color. I tried all the greens that I could find and we weren't getting anything close to this. Well, sorry. Sorry, Jess. But anyway, what's back in the news? Anything good? What's back in the news, Kev? Huh? Imagine Jay wasn't able to catch the news, and he had to rely on Kev to give him the lowdown on what happened that day. You guys see anything interesting? Fun, exciting, horrific, terrible? Anything that made you go, Anything that made you say, yay? Anything fantastic? Anything cool? I finally released Asmon from my basement. That's what you think. What makes you think that? Why would you assume Asmon's no longer in my basement? Perhaps Asmon has always been in my basement. How's that for your Shyamalan ending? Asmon has always and will forever be in my basement. Yeah, exactly. He's posting from his home. That's what I've allowed everyone to think over time. And everyone's going right along with it. I'm playing all those Asmon viewers like a fiddle, and they don't suspect a thing. And I can brag about it because no one would believe the story. Well, my house doesn't look like that. The section that I've given to Asmon looks the way that Asmon keeps it. That's accurate. That's down in the bunker. So I guess it's not just in my basement, it's like below my basement. Jorfer said today, I finally managed to sleep after days of only having 6 hours of sleep and working the whole day plus. I was just talking to Jess about how important it is to get a good night's rest for most people, and how you can greatly put your health at risk if you don't get enough sleep. Your body stops being able to defend itself properly with lack of sleep. Does he typically feature roaches on his live streams? You know, I saw a little graphic earlier today, and it was like YouTube in 2008, and it showed all these like wacky videos, you know, and just random bullshit, you know, like pure meme stuff. Animals, you know, nerds dressing up and sword fighting and whatever the shit. You'd have a big variety of like top videos back then. And then it's like YouTube today, and it just shows like just people just sitting in front of their camera talking. Like no graphics, not even like playing a game, just sitting and talking. It's just like people sitting in front of their computer, like basically the same camera view, just like a person in a room talking to their webcam. And that's like how you sum up YouTube in 2025. One reason I try to keep it fresh around here, I don't want to fall into that. Maybe I will at some point. Maybe that's the temptation of success. Is you start doing well, you build up a fan base, and then you're like, well, I don't even need to make shit anymore. People just hang out and talk to me while I stare at my camera. And I'd be like, should I color Elisa Frank tonight? No, that's too much effort. I'm just gonna train the camera on my face and talk to people about whatever the fuck. And it's crazy that that's how so many streamers can make a living. And a lot of the people, I'm not shit talking Asmongold here. I don't know, because I've still never watched any of his videos. But it's like there's so many streamers, and that's like the setup, and they'll just sit there. And many of these people don't even have like especially compelling takes on things or anything like that. It's just they've got a lot of people watching them, and they'll just kind of like shoot the shit. And they make tons of money. And it's like, huh, that's interesting. I should keep going, because I'm definitely more entertaining than that guy or that chick. Though, I will say, lady streamers do have a bit of an upper hand in some respects. Because there are a lot of simpy guys out there who will just stop and throw money if they're pushing the TOS, let's say, of Twitch or what have you, which became a problem that they had to address. It's like some of this stuff was getting on the borderline of soft porn, and they had to like address it. It's like you can't basically just be like fully nude on stream with like some booby tassels covering your nips. You can't do that. It's not a porno site. You gotta play by some of the rules, kinda. Jorfa said Asmongold is a dude. Well, I know. I wasn't saying that Asmongold's a chick. I'm saying that there are some streamers out there who you might consider to be in the e-thought category who really don't do anything except hit go live, and then they've got, you know, a large pair of knockers that they kind of hoist up in front of the camera. And I mean, hey, fair play to you. Rats off to you. But I don't think there's really an equivalent. It doesn't seem like there's much of a market in the reverse. Like, even if a jacked guy just had his shirt off, it doesn't seem like he'd draw the same fan base as a chick who's almost nude. But I guess that's another one of those men are from Mars, women are from Venus things. Something like that. Girls aren't as silly with their money. It's like I saw someone put it a good way about strip clubs and how silly that concept is. It's like you call your buddy up and you're like, hey, you want to go get boners together and watch a girl take her clothes off? Like, it's a strange tradition. That's one I've never understood. I've been one time. Went to a strip club one time for a friend's bachelor party. But it's never struck me as like a thing to do. There was a guy who used to come into my old work when I worked at old Papa Murphy's Pizza. And he'd come in and like on Friday night, he'd get his pizza. He's like, I'm gonna get this pizza. I'm gonna go home and eat it. And then I'm gonna kiss my kids and wife goodbye and head up to Cheeks Cabaret, which was like the worst strip club in the area. Even if you didn't go there, you just knew Cheeks was the worst. And had a horrible reputation. But he that was his thing. Friday night, get off work, take pizza home to the wife and kids, and then I'm gonna head up to Cheeks Cabaret. I'm glad that's not my life. That's like what I have to look forward to all week. Bust your ass working and your home life is so awful that you're going to take a pizza home and haul ass to the strip club so you can get a public boner. Oh, it's a silly thing. I'm not saying outlaw them or anything. I'm just saying it's an absurdity. There's something silly about it. There's something to be laughed at there, I think. Wouldn't you say? Don't you think it's a silly... I mean, you can say that about a lot of hobbies. Well, everyone's hobby is a little silly. Yeah, well, there's something especially silly about going and paying to get a boner in public that you can't do anything about, at least at upright establishments. Now, I know some of them will offer additional services sort of on the down low, but you're not supposed to do that. You can't imagine most guys are going in and getting additional services. It's like, Sona said no comment. Sona, are you a strip club fan? Do you like going to the strip club? No problem if you do. I just think it's silly. I think it's a silly place to go. Just weird hearing a man complain about what men do. Well, look, I'm not saying it's weird for men to be attracted to hot babes at all. It's the idea, it's the whole idea of going out. Like, you're going to get in your car and drive somewhere, and you're going to probably pay money to get in, and then you're going to pay money either to buy drinks there at the bar, or at some of these places you have to pay. If it's like BYOB, you have to pay them to bring your own beer in or your own alcohol, and then you can sit there and you can watch them. Like, I feel like paying for a prostitute makes more sense in a way, because then at least, you know, yeah, you're going out, you're leaving the house, you're doing that whole thing, but it kind of has like a payoff to it. When you go to a strip club, you're doing all that, you're paying to be teased. There is no payoff. You're paying them off. So it's tough to see the upside, other than like you get to see some naked chicks. Well, especially in today's age, like I was talking about how the internet, I think, put a damper on the video porn industry. It's like that whole thing of going to the strip club seems like it would be a little bit archaic. Because, well, you can see any number of ladies of the night, any shape, size, flavor that you can imagine. You can probably find some lady out there to suit your fancy within a few clicks. Same thing with female streamers. Men give them attention, but then hate they get attention. Well, I'm not saying I'm not hating on it. Like I said, fair play to you. A large component there, I mean, perhaps the largest component there is that men are suckers. The simp culture, if you will. You know, you see some of these guys like giving their life savings to a woman on like streams who's never going to give them the time of day, or like they think they build up in their mind like, oh, if I just pay this chick enough money, then maybe someday I'll get my shot. I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen. And I know some people are like, well, these women are evil for taking the money from these guys. And it's like, I don't buy that either. I'm not in that camp. I think that if you're an adult male and you think you've thought it through, it's like, I've got all this money, especially the guys with like a family. I've got a family, I've got a wife and kids, but I really feel a connection with this female streamer who also has thousands of other guys sending her money every month. I think I'm the one. You'd call that a classic case of main character syndrome, where it's like, oh yeah, look, yeah, I'm certainly the one who's going to rise above all the others. I'm the cream of the crop here. If only I send her more money than everybody else, then she'll surely choose me and we'll end up together one day. If you're that guy, you only have yourself to blame for being a dumbass. So, if we're talking about blame for the absurdity, it goes on the guys giving their money away. That's my opinion, anyhow. But my original point was that I don't see that type of thing happening as much in the other direction. I'm sure that there are probably some instances out there where that's the case, where it's like, you know, there's a buff dude, there's like a Magic Mike stream where a guy's like always got his shirt off and maybe he's got the dick root going, you know, pants pulled down to that level where you can just about see the top of his cock, but not quite. They push it as far as possible, which I think is like also ridiculous. It's one of the most absurd things when you see guys with like their pants down that low. It's just hilarious to me. The old dick root pose. I just happen to be wearing my jeans down like this. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about that if I moved my pants just like half a centimeter down, you would literally see the top of my dick. Don't worry about that. It's perfectly fine and valid that I'm wearing my jeans down this low. Don't worry. It's fine. But it seems like women aren't activated exactly in the same way. We were talking about that the other night. That's why there's Hallmark smut, is because there's more of a need for that kind of build-up. And I guess you don't get that with just seeing a guy, or at least not, it doesn't seem like most women are triggered in that way, the same way that many men are. Where it's like all you have to see is a thumbnail and some tits, and the guy's like, "Ooh, oh my god, oh, I gotta check it out." But then for women, it's like you could see hundreds of guys with, you know, perfectly chiseled chests and six-pack abs. The clickbait, I don't think, works in the same way when it's a guy. You might have more guys clicking on it, thinking it's like a fitness thing. Like, oh, I want to look like that dude. I need to see what that guy's secrets are. What's he doing fitness-wise? How can I get his routine working for me? Maybe. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be full of shit. Let's see. Now, top of the tail, and then the ears, and the eyes too. I don't know if we settled on anything for the tail yet. How is the Lisa Frank stream unhinged? I'm not unhinged. I'm not unhinged at all. I'm making a very calm and I think well-reasoned, it's not even an argument. Just giving my opinion on the state of streaming culture, if you will. Conversation is not wild. It's very tame. Considering all the different conversations happening across the internet at any given moment, I would say it's very tame. Very vanilla. Jorfus was agreeing with me the whole time. Well, I didn't feel like I was saying anything that controversial. Yeah, I don't want to go get bricked up in the wild. Yeah, there's no point. It's crazy. It's a crazy thing to do. But some people are into crazy shit. And that's fine. They're allowed to be. But I'm allowed to call it crazy. I don't think I made Sona cry. I didn't say anything controversial, did I? I feel like I was making pretty bland observations. What is this shit? What is this guy? Hold up the kitty. He looks a little diseased. The green didn't adhere as well. I think it started running out. The green and orange combo is like puke. That's not good. Sona picked those colors, Jess. That's not nice. Now you're gonna make Sona cry, not me. I'm giving milquetoast observational takes about how it's silly to go and pay for a boner in public that you're not going to get finished off the majority of the time unless you go in the back room and like slip the lady a little extra money if she's down with that. And I know someone who did that and they got in a lot of trouble for it. Not with the law, but someone close to them found out. They weren't supposed to be doing things like that, and they did. It's like the old Chris Rock song, "No Sex in the Champagne Room." Well, I know someone who did have sex in the champagne room, and it did not end up making their life better. Let's say that. It was a bad decision to do. Maybe I can do something to it. Sono is envisioning a neon yellow-green vibe. Well, I'm sorry, guys. It is what it is. But what do we want to do for the tail? Do we want to do that pink, like the paws? Was that it? Mulberry? Maybe I'll just do pink. Same as the paws. No bricks in the champagne room. Tail should be purple and the ears should be orange and the eyes should I'm not leaving the eyes white. I'm not leaving any white on here. Except for maybe like what would be the actual white of the eyes, which would be like back there. But we want to have some color in the eyes. And then I guess maybe the little spots on the eyes right here, the reflections. Dark green. Dark green for the ears or the eyes, and then the reflection light blue. Or green in the ears. What do you guys think? Dark green in the ears. Or I could do yellow in the ears to kind of mimic what's going on down here. Let me do that. Let's do that in the ears here. I think that's good enough. Seems pretty sensible. Yeah, that's nice. Now, as for the eyeballs, dark green eyes. Is that your contribution here, Jorfus? You want dark green eyes, huh? I thought this was going to be a little darker. Okay, green eyes. There we go. And then we can leave that. You know what I'm going to do is just a little bit of pink right here. Right there. Just a little pink accents. Just like that. And there. And there. There. There we go. Okay. Well, I think that since we've been going for so long, I'll probably wrap it up right there. It's a good start. Maybe I can spruce it up a little bit off stream so I can actually look at it, get up close and kind of work on some of this stuff. 3 hours for all that. 3 hours. Yeah, I couldn't have done it without you guys. This is partially your creation, because I wouldn't have chosen all these colors on my own self. I wouldn't have done this just off the top of my head. This is your work too. Look at the sparkle in his eyes. Or her eyes, whatever it is. We said golden grams and cinnamon toast crunch. Well, we'll see about finishing this some other time. But as for now, I must be going. My phone is about to die. I didn't plan on even streaming for this long to color the whole damn thing. But there it is. We got done what we got done. And I guess I didn't get started right away. Started about a half hour in. Then we took a little break. So I wasn't going the whole time. It wasn't a full 3 hours just to do this. Maybe about 2. With the interruptions, with Jess coming in and taking my coffee and yelling at me about the markers I was using and all the other stuff. Let Jess do the other side. Maybe we'll do that then. That's a good idea. A collab piece, Jess. Oh, yeah. Also, when YouTube was stopping the music and I had to go and restart it over and over again for no reason because they don't think I'm a big boy. Can't handle pressing play and stop. Unreal. Unbelievable. All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out, everybody. And, oh, real quick, I wanted to let you guys know I had a few more shirts than I thought. I had enough to put a few up on the YouTube store. I actually put stuff right on YouTube now, so you don't have to go to superdivorceme.com. You can actually go over, there's a new tab. It should just say like store or merchandise or something. If you want one of these for yourself, this is all I've got right now. I need to have more made, but I finally put these online. If you want one, you can order them, I think, right here. You just go over to the store page and, yeah, that's too bad. I'm not shipping out to other countries. Unfortunately, it just costs too much.
see. What's the smallest size? A small. I think, what do I have? I think I have one small. That would be the smallest one. Why does it only say that though? That's weird. Okay. Yeah, if you go to the store, there's like a store tab up at the top now on my home page. And if you click on it, it says Super Divorce Rules TL for large. But you click on that and then you can change which size you want. And I think, like I said, I believe I have one of those. There's a small. And then, yeah, I've got a small and mediums. Save the small. You're going to buy it as soon as the stream is over. Will do. I'll set it to the side for you right now. Here it is. That's the last small. It'll be coming your way. So let me know if you have any trouble. You can just leave a comment on the post from today. But it should work just fine. You want me to sign it? Where at? I'll sign it right now. Where should I sign it? I'll sign it right this instant. Bottom left. Okay. Let me get a nice, fresh Sharpie. Bottom, like bottom left here, or like when you're wearing it bottom left. Like my left right now, looking at it on this side. Is that where you like it? Bottom left on the front. Oh, like you're wearing it. Okay. So over here. All right. Okay. Let me my signature is shit. I apologize. But I need to work on a cool one, like with the heart logo. I haven't done that because I haven't had a demand for, signing too much stuff. Here, let me put this underneath so I don't mark it up. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to sign it on stream, and you know why? I'm going to come up with a good signature for you. I'm going to come up with a brand new, like, Super Divorce signature, and you'll be the first one to ever have it, ever. I'm going to come up with one so it's nice, because my signature is just bullshit. You can't even see what it is. And I want to incorporate like the heart into it. I think that would be fun to do. I'm like, you know what? I've been thinking about doing that for a while. Finding a way to put the heart in my signature when I'm signing Super Divorce stuff. But I haven't really had a reason to. This is a good reason. You'll be the first one. Let it be known right now. I'm pointing at it. It'll be right here if anyone ever needs confirmation. If she's like, I was the first one to ever get the new signature. It'll be right here. Okay, I'll work on that, and I'll get it out to you ASAP. Okay, sounds good. Well, guys, tomorrow night we'll do a chill out zone, and maybe Jess coloring the other part of this would be a good chill out zone. Maybe that'd be good. Since chill out zones are going to be whatever we want them to be. This would have been a good chill out zone, so tomorrow would be a good time to finish the other one. since we can't watch movies apparently. We'll